Hello, First Baptist Hazel Green family. I'm coming to you today to give you the latest update from our church on COVID-19. As you are probably aware, there has been quite the uptick in positive cases in our region. At least over the past several weeks, we've seen an increase significantly here in the Huntsville, Madison County area. And I just wanted to come to you and just share with you my thoughts on that as we move forward into fall and the fall schedule here at First Baptist Hazel Green. This is obviously a concerning pattern, and we want to pray for all those who are sick. I know that there have been families in our church that have lost loved ones, and we do grieve with them through this time. And I invite you to join me in prayer as we pray for those folks and those families who this virus is drastically impacting. As you know, we've been very diligent over the past 17 months or so to try to do everything possible to give us the best opportunity to continue to worship, but also balance safety and health. And that's been a tough thing, if I'm being honest with you. Every decision that's been made, I know that there's been people who like it and don't like it, and that's kind of tough. And where I like to always fall down on is just the facts of where we are and how we can best move forward as a church family. And I recognize and realize that that's not always a popular decision based upon wherever you fall in your opinions of where we are. But again, I try just to navigate this in prayer and wisdom, and try my best to find what the facts are. And so I just wanted to point out this week that, I really feel like we have a different situation here in August of 2021 than we were a year ago at the peak of the pandemic. And you say, well, why is it a different situation? Well, I would say that there's at least one major factor that helps this be a little bit different of a situation. We now have a vaccine that is widely available and that many people have chosen to get. And that vaccine has, according to the statistics, has greatly reduced, significantly, a vast majority, if you will, has reduced the serious and even fatal effects of COVID-19. Now, I know that's not a 100% because there's nothing in this life that is 100%, but that vaccine has proven to be greatly impactful in reducing hospitalizations and death to the vast majority of people. And so with that one thing is huge. And so it kind of puts us in a position where I don't believe we have to make radical changes to the things that we are doing. And I know some would say, well, what about our children and our teenagers? There's not a vaccine available for them. I realize that under 12 years of age, there's not an opportunity for those children to be vaccinated. But the good side of that is the statistics overwhelmingly, just like with the vaccine, overwhelmingly say that children and teens are not, they are contagious. They do get the virus, but they are not being hospitalized and they're not dying with this virus. The vast majority of children and teens, vast majority, are safe. I've even contacted a local pediatrician's office in which they said they have had positives, but have yet to send any child to the hospital with COVID-19. And so that offers us some encouragement about our children and our teens. So as we've seen this vaccine success, as we've seen the statistics with our children and teenagers not needing to be hospitalized, there are many families that feel very comfortable getting back out and doing the routine things that they did pre-COVID-19 of 2020. And so these people fully expect, many of them after being vaccinated, that they will be in a good position should they contract the virus to be fine. And so they're moving forward with life, and many of you fall into that category. And so because of this significant advancement from where we were a year ago to today, it really helps us to think through things just a little bit differently here at First Baptist Hazel Green. So here's what I want to ask you to do, and here's kind of the path that we're going to chart. And I just want to let you know that we need to be able to reserve the right to alter this course should there be a need. If there is an outbreak amongst us here at the church, then we may have to obviously alter the course of what we're asking you to do. But as of today, here's what we would like to ask you to do. We encourage each family to take personal responsibility for making the best decisions to keep your family healthy. You know your comfort level better than I know your comfort level, or anybody else here knows your comfort level of what you're comfortable with and not comfortable with. And so whether you choose to mask or not mask, we do suggest mask. We do know that there are health officials that say those are very effective in helping to not transmit the virus. But so we want you to take personal responsibility on those issues. Whether you get a vaccine or not, it's a personal responsibility whether you take the risk or don't take the risk one way or the other. So we're preaching personal responsibility moving forward. You know your comfort level, and we want to empower you to make the right decision for your family. Now, here's the second thing I want to ask you to do, and I think this is important. This is where everybody can help everybody else. Now, here it is. Please stay home if you have any, keyword any, symptoms of sickness. Now, we have had COVID-19 come through our household, and my wife, we believe that my wife just had a sinus infection when she was positive. And so we went about our normal routine, and we thought she had a sinus infection. But when we tested her after several days, realized that actually was COVID-19. And so even if you think you have a simple cold or a simple stuffy nose or whatever, if you have a symptom of the virus in any way, we want you to stay home. Many people mistake this virus for something simple to start with. So please stay home with any symptoms. Anybody in your household, keep them home if they have a symptom. Next, we suggest that you wear a mask while in situations where you're closer than 6 feet to someone not in your family. Especially if you've chosen not to be vaccinated, because we know you're at the greatest risk when you've chosen not to be vaccinated. So we suggest that you wear a mask, especially when you're in situations closer than 6 feet. Next, we suggest that you social distance in the worship center. I don't think any one of us loved going in that worship center looking at blue tape everywhere. We just feel like you can be personally responsible to go in this worship center and find a spot where you can kind of be away from people that you are not in your social circle or not in your immediate family. And so we want to encourage you to use personal responsibility to sit with those people that you do life with already, that you're already, rubbing shoulders with, as you say, during the week. And we want to invite you to social distance yourself, okay? So we're not going to draw lines for you and say paint within the lines or anything. We're going to say you use personal responsibility. If someone comes in and sits too close to you, and maybe you could just kindly just get up and find you another space or slide down in the pew a little further so you have that extra space. And we want you to know that the balcony is open and there's like 100 seats up there. And in most weeks, I've noticed that you can easily go upstairs and be able to socially distance up there, even if it seems a little crowded down on the floor. And so we want to make you aware that we do suggest social distancing. Next, please consider worshiping online, which is a great option for anyone that isn't comfortable in large groups. Maybe you say, hey, and I've already talked to some of you the past couple of weeks, I'm not comfortable at church right now. I'm not comfortable in large groups. Please hear me. Not that you need my permission, but hear this as my blessing to say, worship at home. I'm so thankful for our team that streams our service every week. We have multiple camera angles, and the Lord has blessed us with advancing that technology over the past 18 months to a watchable, enjoyable, hopefully experience most Sundays when technology doesn't do something crazy. So let me encourage you. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, and we want to encourage you that if you need to stay home, we understand that. We want you to stay home. We want you to be where you need to be, especially if you have underlying conditions which could make you be more likely to have a breakthrough case if you've been vaccinated, or if you've not been vaccinated. Please consider this as a suggestion, a friendly suggestion to stay and worship at home online if you fall into those categories. And then last, at this time, we feel it best to continue to offer ministry opportunities as normal. And so, but we don't want you to feel obligated to be involved in anything that you're not comfortable with. And I just want to say this out loud, that even if you're a teacher in some environment, that the circumstances have changed around you, we want you to know that it's okay for you to say, hey, I need to step aside right now because of my comfort level for my health. See, I believe that you should be able to be personally responsible to make that decision for yourself and not feel obligated on behalf of a previous commitment that you've made to me or Dave or anyone else that might have committed you to be here at the church when you're not comfortable being in that environment. And so we want you to know that you can make that decision, and we will support your decision. There'll be no judgment based upon what you choose to do in those situations. So if you're not comfortable with your students, going to camp or going to D-Now, or if you're not comfortable with your children being in kids worship, or you're not comfortable, being in life group or being in this fellowship or Wednesday night meal or whatever that happens to be, then feel free to know that we support you in making a good decision for your health. I just want to tell you how thankful I am to serve as the pastor of First Baptist Hazel Green. You guys have been incredible to be encouraging to me, to be helpful to me, to take our suggestions and even some of our requirements along the way to help us be the best that we can be during this pandemic, to still be on mission, to still keep our doors open and serving people and ministering to people, reaching the lost. And I'm so thankful that you've been so supportive. And I just pray that you would continue to offer your support and your cooperation as we seek to continue to minister and fulfill our mission of helping people discover God's goodness, helping people develop in the likeness of Christ, and then ultimately helping people deploy to our neighbors and the nations. I love you, church, and I'm thankful for you. I pray you stay safe, and I pray that you make really wise decisions in the coming days. God bless you. If I can be of service to you, call me. Have a wonderful day.